Do you want to be able to afford the best players and open the best packs in FC24? Go to u7buy.com to buy your EAFC24 coins. It's more economic than buying FC points and just as reliable. They already offer some of the best prices out there, but you can get an additional 6% off using promo code Eli at checkout.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have a very meta custom tactic for you guys today, and this custom tactic is a 3-5-2. I believe it has made a comeback. We're going to be using this formation to counter the 5-2-1-2 that everybody's deciding that they want to play right now. I already went 9-0 on the little FC versus cup today using this formation, and it got me back into D1. I'm about to get to the elite division again, so not bad. And I'm using that little Evo team. But anywho, 3-5-2. If you've been on my channel since last year, you know this was one of my favorite formations last year, probably top 3 formations. The reason why it's one of my top 3 formations, and I got 20-0 with it multiple times last year, is because it's like the 4-2-3-1. So like this one, but with an extra cam. 4-2-3-1 is my favorite formation in the game, but this one is literally the exact same thing. It just has one extra cam or one extra striker instead of one extra defender, which is what I do anyways because I make my fullback attack anyways. It is just like the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, so this one right here, but with wingers, because you get an extra right mid and a left mid, so you can spread out your opponent. It's like all of them, all of those tactics, like a 4-4-2, like a 4-2-2 has all of them, all of the above. Now, the reason why I want to make this formation to counter the 5-2-1-2 is because with the 5-2-1-2 you have 2 center mids instead of CDM, so it by default is a little bit more attacking, even though you have a right wing back and a left wing back. But because they are so attacking, they don't track back as far back and as fast as they would if they were CDMs. Like, can I show you guys? Is it gonna let me show you? They won't track back as fast as they would if they're CDMs because of those cut passing lanes instructions, and just because the CDMs sit deeper. So yeah, the right mid and left mid, they take a little while to come back, but I believe that the center mid area is more important than the wing area, because by the time they try to cut back through the wings, you have your right back and your left back, or your right center back, left center back, however you want to look at it. They'll be covering those lanes over there on that side. So therefore, I believe this formation can counter almost any formation, except for the only one that you'll struggle with will be 4-2-2 if they put stay forward on the cams. And the only other one that I've struggled against is this one, the 4-2-4, if you put stay forward on all the attackers. But from there on out, this formation can counter any formation. It gives you the most balance out of every formation in the game. What happened? I don't know what just happened, guys. My thing just glitched. It said that I was at the 4-2-4. I believe that formation can counter any and every formation in the game besides those two. So 3-5-2. Let's get into it. So everything is as follows: balance 37 width, depth 57. Now this is on old gen. If you're on new gen, up this to 40 width and your depth to 60. Leave it there. Do not change it. You don't have to go up, you don't have to go down, you don't have to do anything. Just leave it there. Don't play the 71 depth on this formation or any 3 at the back formation, just because you're defending with a 3 at the back. I know it takes some time for your fullbacks to come back, or your right mid, left mid to come back and make a back 5. But while you're attacking and you play such a high line, you'll get caught on the counterattacks or the over-the-top through balls, which those are making a comeback too. So just play a 60 depth. That's good enough. If you feel like 60 is too high for you on new gen, drop it to about 55 to 50. If you're on old gen and you feel like 57 is too high for you, then drop it to 53 to anywhere to like 57. That is it. Just kind of leave it there. Everything else, copy it. So balance 37-57, balance direct passing. If you feel like you're getting pressed too much, you can do slow build up just to get your players to come towards you, but I recommend just doing balance and direct passing and just let go of the sprint button. I might put some gameplay at the end of this video. If I don't, then I will post a separate gameplay video, probably with like 2 or 3 games on how I use this formation in the higher divisions with that little Evo team. And I'll show you how to build up, how to defend, all that good stuff with this formation, without sprinting too much. Just letting go sprint and just pass and go, and just touching the ball around, tiki-taka plays, sending my players on runs, and letting the ball do the work for me instead of me running with my players. But I'll show you guys in a little bit what I mean. Width is 47, so a little bit more narrow than normal, so 47. Now when you are in the game, you are going to turn on the hug the sideline tactic, so you're going to press the up arrow on the D-pad and then the left arrow afterwards, so you do have the hug the sideline tactic, so your right mid and left mid will be as wide as they can be. Reason why is because that splits open your opponent's fullbacks. When it splits them open, they literally only have 2 center backs trying to stop your 3 attackers. There's a little triangle of death up here because these guys are splitting their fullbacks open, so it's so hard to stop whenever you do have that tactic on. So I recommend turning that on, but everything else leave it as is. Players in the box 6, corners and free kicks 1 and 1. Players who you need where? Your best defender, like your best defender in your team should be the middle center back. Your right center back and your left center back should be either A, fullbacks, or B, center backs that have some type of agility and balance, so they can kind of jockey a little bit whenever you are getting countered, so it allows your other players to kind of drop deep to help you defend. So make sure you get like a Koundé type of player, Kyle Walker type of player that can play right here on your 2 center backs, and then the middle center back do like a very meta center back, so like Saliba, Van Dijk, Maldini, Blanc. That should be right there as your center back. Yeah. And also your fullbacks, or your right center back and left center back, they should be able to do over the top through balls or any type of passing traits too. That'll help out a lot. Just because you do want to build up from the back, so you do want to pass the ball around, especially when you're getting pressed, because you are going to get pressed, especially when you're playing with a 3 at the back, and you have to have players that can actually dribble and pass the ball. All right. Your 2 CDMs, I do recommend playing 1 medium high and 1 high work rated player, or 2 high work rated players. Don't put 2 high mediums, don't put 2 high lows. You can get away with maybe 1 medium and 1 medium high, or 1 high. But I recommend, if you can, do medium high and high. That's what I recommend. So you have one more defensive minded. So for me, that's Partey. I know he's not the best, but I was playing with this team to make sure that this formation is good, so I can get out teamed every game, and I did, and this formation works wonders. So Thomas Partey is my CDM medium high, and Walty is my high work rated player. So you can even put Hullet on one side and like Modric on the other side. Modric is really good. Bellingham, players like that. You know who you have to put, just depending on those work rates. Your right mid and your left mid. Now, what I do is I play 1 fullback and 1 winger. My fullback is Kai Havertz. He's medium work rate, and it's fine because he is a fullback, so he has some defensive traits, so he will drop deep to help defend, and he will be able to attack because he's one of the best fullbacks in the game. Now, for the right mid, I have a winger, which I have to make sure that he's a high work rated player because he doesn't have any defensive stats. So because he is a high work rated player, it will allow him to drop deeper to make a back 5, and it will allow him to bomb forward without me having to force him to go forward all the time. So very important, try to put a high work rated player on the right mid side, and if you can on both sides, put them. But if you have a fullback that has defensive traits, then put him on one of the wingers. Your cam, very important, 5-star. I recommend a Neymar type of player. I have Trossard, I evoed him up, he's 5-star. Or if you don't, put somebody there that has a really good trait, like a finesse shot trait or a Trivela plus trait, kind of like Son or like Salah, players like that can shoot from afar, or that have some type of incisive pass or long ball pass or something like that. Just your best playmaker, your best dribbler of the ball should be your cam. And then you have your 2 strikers. You can get away with doing 1 target man striker and 1 more agile striker. I don't really like to play that way. I like to have 2 agile strikers, so I have Ian Wright on one side and Blackstenius on the other side. They don't have any 5-star weak foots, but one of them has a 5-star skill, so I like to do reverse elásticos, and then the other one can just shoot. Like, she has like 99 finishing or something like that, 97 finishing. So just make sure you have really good strikers that as soon as they get the ball, as soon as they get an opening, they can shoot, and they can shoot from anywhere, because as soon as you get a chance, especially in the higher divisions, you just need to take your chances. You need to be able to score. So spend some good money on your center backs, on your defensive line, and spend some good money on your strikers and your cam. Instructions: goalie comes for cross and sweeper keeper. The reason why is because there's that whip cross meta going around right now, and you do need to have your goalie coming out and actually trying to save some stuff, because if not, he just kind of sits inside the goal and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't defend any of the whip crosses, and that's very annoying. So all 3 center backs stay back while attacking. That is it. Both CDMs cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking cover center on both of them. You don't need to put balanced attack because you do have the direct passing tactic, so they will go forward regardless. They just won't go all the way into your opponent's box, so just leave them as is. Right mid, come back on defense, that is it. Left mid, come back on defense, that is it. You can get into box or cross, but if you do that, just be aware you're going to get caught on counterattacks more than anything, because they will be forcing themselves to go into the box even if there is no position to cross yet. They just want to be there already, so I recommend not to. I recommend letting the AI do the work for you. It does a pretty good job of letting them know when they should actually run inside the box for like a cutback or like a whip cross or something like that. And then if you don't know how to turn on the hug the sideline tactic, then you can put on stay wide on the right mid and left mid. Your cam is going to be basic everything except for get into box or cross. I was messing around with stay forward, but it makes them drop, or it makes them stay way too forward and doesn't drop deep to pick up the ball. I do like my cam to kind of drop deep a little bit to pick up the ball, build up with the two center mids, and kind of break the opponent's lines in between the center mids and the center backs and the defensive line, I should say. So I kind of want to play. I want him to play right there in the middle. That's why I want a 5-star skill player right there, so they can kind of be like agile, like they can dribble through the whole mess and then distribute the ball to any side. Get into box or cross, so whenever one of the strikers moves out of position, he will fill into that position and kind of act like a quote-unquote shadow striker, almost like a false nine striker. Kind of think like a Bellingham for Real Madrid, how he's like a box crushing center mid, so he shows up last minute to score those goals, and they're very vital. And then both strikers stay central, get in behind, that is it on both of them, so just make them go forward. Abuse the fact that they're doing the getting behind instructions. If they run offside, that's fine. Wait for them to come back onside and then send them again. Just let them push your opponent's back line back, and then once they come back, or once they go offsides, once they make the run out of, like basically out of bounds, out of the defensive line, once they come back, that's when you send them the ball. You'll see in the gameplay. I'm probably going to put the gameplay on a separate video because this video is kind of long already. So I'll put some gameplay on a separate video. If you guys let me know down below, I'll put some gameplay. If not, then I'll leave it as is. But yeah, stay central, getting behind on both strikers. And that is it. Those are the custom tactics and instructions for the 3-5-2. Now, I do recommend that if you guys do start off with the 3-5-2 and then you feel like you can't defend too much with the 3-5-2, then go ahead and switch to another formation like a 4-2-3-1 just to close off the game or something like that. Or my Bayern Leverkusen 5-2-2-1, that one's really good too. But yeah, go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button if I ever helped you out with any of the tactics, and then let me know down below. I am going to switch things up and probably put gameplay on a separate video now because nobody really watches them. So whoever really wants to watch the gameplay videos, I'll make those separate. Whoever really wants to watch not just meta tactics but real life managerial tactics, I'll make separate videos for those too. So I'm going to be posting more videos now, probably 3 meta tactics a week, and then maybe 2 managerial tactics a week, something like that. It's going to be more work, but that's what I'm going to have to do. But alright guys, let me know down below if you guys have any questions, or if you guys like the manager tactics or the meta tactics, or which ones you guys prefer to see. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.